Hey kids, it's Mr. Fly here, hope you're well. Now, bike crime is something that is uppermost in all of our minds, or certainly if you live in the southeast of the UK and particularly in London. We hear more and more stories about bikes being stolen all the time, don't we? So I'm always interested in anything we can do to help reduce bike crime, or if crime is going to happen, work out ways to get your bikes back. And I'm a massive fan of bike trackers. Well, I've recently come across a really economical bike tracker. Looks like this. It's called the Monimoto. Stick around and stay tuned. I'm going to tell you all about it. Right, bike trackers then, what's that all about? Well, I've been a big fan of bike trackers for ages, and I've got bike trackers fitted to all my bikes, and they're great, they work absolutely well. I'm not going to tell you which bike trackers I've got fitted on my bikes for sort of obvious reasons, but one of the downsides I can tell you about them is that they drain the batteries, particularly on the BMW and on the Ducati. I have to have battery tenders plugged in all the time when the bikes are here in the garage, because with the trackers that I've got fitted on these machines, they're checking in with the phone network all the time, and over a period of time that drains the battery down. Now, there are little technical things you can do. You can set a threshold for it to send you an alert to tell you when the battery's getting run down, etc. But it is a bit of a nuisance. So that's the disadvantage number one of the traditional bike trackers I've used. The other disadvantage is they're quite expensive. They have not only do they have a cost to buy the thing and a fitting fee, and in the case of the ones I've got again on the BMW and the Ducati, that was £400 plus fitting to get the devices on there, but also a £99 per year subscription. When you've got more than one bike, that adds up to quite a bit. So I was very interested when Monimoto got in touch with me to tell me about a new product that they've got, which kind of gets around some of those problems. Let me go back over to the bench and I'll tell you about it. Okay, so full disclosure then, Monimoto, as I say, did get in touch with me and they sent me the device for free for me to review it. Now, let me just give you a word about how I do reviews on the channel. As a relatively successful YouTuber, I do get sent free bits and pieces every now and then for review. And my take on it is I wouldn't do a review of something, or a good review of something, that I didn't actually use and know and love myself. So I often get sent things and I end up saying to the company concerned, I'm sorry, I'm not going to review that because I don't actually like the product or wouldn't use it myself or whatever. So whenever I do a review of a product on the channel, it's always something that I personally have used and have got to know it. So with that in mind, when Monimoto contacted me, I said to them, actually, I'm happy with the trackers that I've got. I don't really want anything else. But they kind of were quite insistent about sending me this one. So I said, OK, I'll give it a try then. And I'm really glad that I did, because I'm not just saying this, but this thing actually is a great addition, I think, to your armoury if you don't want to go spending out on one of those fully featured trackers like I was just talking about. Now, the trackers I was talking about previously, they're in touch with the phone network all the time, and therefore you can look at any time on basically a Google map and see whereabouts your bikes are. And various things about them. And if the bike gets stolen without the ignition being on, a call centre will actually give you a phone and tell you that your bike's been stolen. So they're very highly featured, richly featured systems, and they're very, very good, as I say, but they are quite costly. What Monimoto have done is cut back to what exactly is required when your bike's stolen. So what I'm not going to do, what I'm doing here is show you the box. I'm not going to show you what it actually looks like, again, for obvious reasons, because what you do is this is a self-contained unit that has its own SIM card in it and its own long-lasting battery. It's got one of those lithium-ion batteries that lasts about 2 years, apparently. And the way it works is it only checks into the phone network if it thinks your bike has actually been stolen. It doesn't do it all along. So the lithium-ion battery isn't being drained all along. So advantage number one is your actual bike battery doesn't get drained. Okay, so how does the Monimoto system work then? Well, basically, once you've installed the device, which is very easy, as I say, it's a self-contained unit that you just secrete about the bike in any location that you see fit, and there's some instructions that you read online to tell you the best sorts of places to put it. That's literally a 5-minute job. So once you've put the device on the bike, it stays dormant, doesn't do anything, unless the bike is actually moved, and that brings it awake. And what it does, once it's moved, it gets in contact with a little key fob that they provide you with. So here we are, the key fob looks like that. And this is in touch via, I think, via Bluetooth, actually, with the device on the bike. So as long as you're within Bluetooth range, and this is around, the bike knows it's safe and it's at home, and no alerts get sent anywhere. But if you're out of range of the Bluetooth and the bike gets moved, what it'll do is it realises it can't find the little fob, therefore it must be stolen. It then sends you an alert via the phone network. So it's a slightly different way about doing it. I'm not sure I've explained that very well, but basically, if the bike is moved and you haven't got that key fob nearby, it'll send you an alert. And what it does, it is in a sort of an escalating way. So initially it tells you that the bike has been moved, and then what it'll do, once it's realised that it's been moved and it's not near the fob, it'll check into the GPS network, and it takes about a minute to work out where it is. It'll then send you another alert of exactly whereabouts your bike is on a map, again, like a Google map. Now, this all works via an app on your iPhone that, again, you download for free when you get the device. And I've done a couple of screenshots here, so I'll show you what it looks like initially when you set the thing up. It sends you, in fact, I get a little alert every day around about 12:40ish. It seems to work for me. I get a little alert that says the Monimoto is ready. Just means it's out there and it's operating. It lets you know what the battery's doing. And then if the bike gets moved, it'll send you an alert, and you'll see on this screen how that looks. And you can see here, this is where I went for a ride on the bike, but I purposely left the little fob bit at home, so I was out of range, just to check and see how it works. And you'll see here on the screen grab that I've taken on the phone that you get these little alerts basically every minute. It'll tell you whereabouts where the bike is, and a map. So at that point, you know your bike's been stolen, and you can let the police authorities know and tell them exactly whereabouts your bike is. And that is basically it. And then once the bike is back in range of the fob, it stops sending you the alerts. So in my case, I've never had another alert because the fob is always nearby-ish to the bike when it's at home, and therefore it checks in and everything works. But of course, if the bike gets stolen, then it will start sending me alerts. So I think it's an absolutely amazing little bit of kit. It's very simple. It's very clever. I mean, the installation, as I say, is child's play. It's a very small device, and it's cheap. So that, I guess, leads me to the final point. What are the costs of these things? Well, cost-wise, as I said at the start of the video, they're very reasonable. I just took a little note here to make sure I get the numbers right. So the device itself, and I'll stick a little link below as to where you can get the device. Device itself is £150 to buy. So compare that to my traditional trackers, which, as I say, are about £400. Then you have to have them professionally installed. So 150 quid, you definitely install it yourself. It's very, very easy to do. That's how much it will cost you to buy. And then there is a cost of the SIM card that's supplied with the device. It comes with batteries as well, by the way. And the SIM card is €3 a month. Which is charged at €36 on one payment per annum. So that's about £25 a year. By the way, you get the first 2 months for free as well. But after that, £25 per year for it to be able to send you those little messages telling you that your bike's been moved away from that fob, and sending you a map of where it is, which is actually all you really need to alert the authorities as to where your bike is. Now, I think that's excellent value compared to the £99 per bike per year that I pay for the traditional tracker. So I've been very pleased with it. I initially said to the guys at Monimoto I wasn't particularly interested because I was happy with the trackers I've got. But actually, having now installed this and used it, played with it for about a month or so now, or a couple of weeks, a month or so, then I'm really pleased with it. I think it's great. If I buy other bikes, I should be getting more Monimotos to go on them. So thumbs up to the guys at Monimoto. If you're interested in some bike crime prevention stuff, or a way to get your bike back, rather, I should say, then do check these guys out. As I say, little link below. I've been really pleased with it. I think it's a great bit of kit. So thumbs up from me on the Monimoto. All right, that's it for now. I thought you might be interested in that because, as I say, it's something that I've found pretty good. Some of the stuff I get sent, I find, is absolutely rubbish, so it never gets the light of day. But this one is a good one, trust me. All right, hope that's been of some interest. Look forward to speaking to you next time. Till then, this has been the Mr. and Fly. Cheerio.